Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Saturday to you. Quick look here at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Solana next here, but yeah, it's a messy market, folks. There's no other way around it. Taking long positions is very, very risky. So please hold on to your shorts. We're going to see what's going on here with Bitcoin and double check a couple of key factors. So if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. And if you've been watching for a while, deeply appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and follow if you haven't already. And what we're going to look at first is liquidation data for the last 7 days of trading. So if we do take a look at the overall sentiment here, we can see that 65,000 down as low as about 62,000 are new areas of liquidation. I say new because there's a lot of people taking longs at that $66,000, $65,000 mark that are currently in profit. But I would ask if you are in one of those positions to adjust your stop loss higher to secure profits, just to make sure that you don't get too greedy in this market. Again, Bitcoin heavy on the horizon, sure, that's one thing, but alts got just absolutely destroyed with Bitcoin dominance being very, very high, and Bitcoin is still kind of looking weak right now here at this moment, but it could very well turn around and continue higher. You never truly know. Weekends are a little weird. I do recommend, of course, in general, not trading too much on the weekends. Maybe a couple of swing trades here and there with some nice stop losses in place, but generally speaking, weekends have really weird volatility, so probably best to avoid altogether. Either way you look at it, 71.5 upwards about 73.5 is that range of liquidation to the upside. There's about $1 billion worth of liquidation there, if I understood correctly from some other charts I looked at here recently. So all that being said, market's kind of funky right now. There's no other way around it. We got, I wouldn't say we got destroyed, but the market didn't do so well. Let's quickly look at the Bitcoin dominance. When you look at this here, oof, that is ugly. We broke above a key level resistance for Bitcoin dominance in some time. So what that basically just means is if we continue to stay that high, which seems likely for the moment, altcoins are going to continue to bleed out. So once we start coming back down under this 55% range, then we can kind of anticipate the price action for altcoins recovering. Okay, between now and then, it's just going to be a bloodbath and everything's going to continue to decrease. There's going to be some outliers, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, we're going to see some price action looking pretty terrible in altcoins. So you get a lot of people asking me, hey, what can I do to recover my portfolio? Well, in hindsight, the best thing you could have done is use a stop loss. There's some folks that didn't use stop losses yesterday and got extremely, they're not in a good position anymore. We'll just put it that way. Okay, so I'm sorry that's the case, but again, moving forward, learn from your losses, and you'll recover from this. Totally. This isn't half as bad as a lot of other previous circumstances, like FTX, 2021 top. Like, there's a lot of things that could have been a lot worse. Okay. Anyways, looking at Bitcoin now, what do we want to talk about? Well, let's quickly understand the moving averages. We're down officially below the 20 SMA. That didn't help. That didn't hold at all. 0.618 fib, not even close. Price just continued to run. A lot of it was speculation of like the war and everything like that over in Israel, if not mistaken. It's a lot of fundamental things that kind of factored in too. So you got to recognize this kind of out of the control. But the thing we can recognize too, though, is that we are still above the point of control. And so again, this is a consolation, probably at least right now, at the very best rather, 67,000 still that level of support. So even though we wicked all the way down to 65, 67,000 is kind of our last line of defense there. We got the 50-day SMA kind of averaging itself out right there too. Technically, we're still holding above this ascending trend line as well, which gives us a type of pendant pattern here. So again, it's not pretty by any stretch, but we're still not in dire straits until we start closing 65, 64K or lower. There is a CME gap at 64,000. Please understand that as well, just to kind of make things really easy for you. We wicked all the way down to it, but didn't quite fill it. So the lower end is about 64,000 is a round number. That's the area that I'm expecting to get retested if we continue lower. Okay. Again, emphasis on the word if. We don't know that. We don't know we're going to do that yet, but at this point, it's best to presume it could happen. And that way we are prepared for it. Okay. The way you look at it here, MACD's trying to shift momentum here and swing upwards on the 4-hour time frame. We can see RSI and money flow index all very low, and of course stochastic swinging up. So generally when you see all these things, they're obviously quite bearish, and there's no real indication the price is just going to instantly recover. But we can see that we are retesting this 0.786 fib level 68,000 multiple times over, and for the last 16 hours we've tried to break through that level and haven't yet. The likelihood of pushing through that is higher because we keep retesting it. So I do think that there's a good chance we'll see a push towards the upper 68,000 range and then possibly reject out of that 0.618 fib level. Okay. Again, these are older fib levels. I haven't updated them just yet, but once more, when you have movement like this, you typically want to wait until the daily candlestick closes first before you adjust them. So we're still using our previous fibs, just to give perspective here on where we're at on the most recent time frame. This is again Fibonacci retracement levels for the last 3 days. Take a look at the hourly. We can double check the Ichimoku cloud. We can see that we are working our way right back towards it. Okay, so again, it's starting to level itself out right here at about 68,000, reaffirming that resistance at 68 or 68.1. So again, a closure above the cloud would be helpful. Would it be like, oh, we're good to go, green light? Probably not, honestly, because there's a lot of confirming factors that we're still bearish. But generally speaking, it would be a very positive sign if we can be at 68K or higher today. That would give us some confirmation that Bitcoin could stabilize there. But there's no doubt that the market is shooken up right now, and that may not hold that level. Okay, so again, just some things to kind of think about, but generally speaking, that would be a positive if we get there. So I'm looking for a candlestick closure at 68,000 or higher today, preferably 68.2 or higher, just so we can confirm we're above the cloud. And then does that mean you just take a long position with an altcoin because Bitcoin's stabilizing? Not at all. Altcoins are still bleeding very hard. Okay, so absolutely not a good call to get into a trade right now as far as a long position is concerned, because every altcoin right now is on a razor's edge. Okay, so just be careful, be mindful. We're not in a good position here with altcoins, at least right now. But either way you look at it, 68.2 or higher would be a positive sign, a good step in the right direction for Bitcoin to inevitably, stabilize and hold. But once more, we really do need a closure at, I would say, 68.7 or higher to give us that firm confirmation of where we're at. Let's quickly look at, just before we wrap this up here, the last 12 hours of liquidation and kind of see if there's anything here. It's pretty ugly. Very, very sparse. This is not the cleanest chart I've ever seen before. 67,000 is the low level of liquidation, and again, about 68K for that upper level. Okay, so really not much to extract there. Quick little congrats to our community too. Even though a lot of communities were getting pretty much destroyed, we manually closed our AVAX trade early before we hit our stop loss, which there was still a loss, of course, don't get me wrong, but we were able to offset with that with some previous short position XRP, ICP, Filecoin, and then there was a few others too, a previous short on AVAX and Rune as well. So again, cool stuff there. I'm glad those folks who left their trades open for those extended periods got that extra little profit, because again, it helps to be able to do that. That's why we have multiple profit targets. It's just kind of a good strategy if you are considering taking multiple trades. Instead of multiple trades, just take one trade and essentially take multiple profit targets. Okay, that's kind of the strategy we have here in place. Either way, conversation for another day. Thank you so much again for watching. Hope you had learned something here today. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your weekend either way. Thanks so much for your time. Take care.